JD Vance, Vice President of the United States, who, according to reports this week, has effectively been kind of pushed out of Donald Trump's inner circle. He's just off doing his own thing. But according to a new report, JD Vance accidentally just ruined Donald Trump's life by telling somebody he thought was a friend what's actually happening.
The hearing wasn't supposed to make headlines. It began as a routine committee session on fairness in college admission. But what unfolded between Senator JD Vance and Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett quickly became something far larger. A clash of stories, silence, and truth. JD Vance took the floor first, reminding the room of his rough upbringing, his family struggles, and the obstacles he overcame to reach law school. He argued that admissions rules should reward merit, not diversity.
Up with, can't afford to pay more for groceries, more for gas, more for rent, and that's exactly what has given them. But ladies and gentlemen, that is not the end of our story.
When he looked across the room at Jasmine Crockett, he made his move. "Mr. Chairman," he said firmly, "Representative Crockett should share her full college grades. Voters deserve to know if those making our laws truly earned their place." The words hit like a hammer. Cameras zoomed in. Reporters leaned forward, and the room went silent. Jasmine didn't flinch. She calmly closed her notebook, lifted her eyes, and met his gaze. She said nothing. JD pressed further, reading from an anonymous post that questioned whether Jasmine had received special favors in law school. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Again, Jasmine didn't react. She sat still, her blue pen resting between her fingers. At last, she spoke, her voice calm but sharp. "Senator Vance, what exactly do you want me to prove? A grade, a ranking, or an entire life was a political issue, and therefore they had no ability to step in and to, preside over it. And so I think that they'll arrive at the same conclusion." The silence that followed cut deeper than any applause. Then from the back, a young law student stood and asked the question that shifted the air. If academic success is the measure of leadership, then why do people with the best degrees still pass unfair laws? His words left JD momentarily frozen. Just when the tension peaked, something unexpected happened. A clerk announced that an unregistered guest wished to speak. Professor William Hart, former Dean of Law at the University of Texas, who had taught both JD Vance and Jasmine Crockett. The room held its breath as Hart walked slowly to the center, folder in hand. He didn't read transcripts or GPA scores. Instead, he held up Jasmine's final law school essay, "Equal Under Law, Unequal in Practice, winner of a National Civil Rights Award." "This paper," he said, "was written while her mother was dying. She declined an extension because she told me, if I can't write this in pain, then what's the point of writing law at all?" The audience fell silent. Then Hart turned toward JD. "I taught you as well, Senator. I wrote the letter allowing you to postpone your exams for personal struggles. I don't regret it, but I will tell the truth. One of you used hardship as an excuse to delay. The other turned hardship into purpose. That person was not Jasmine." Gasps filled the room. JD's composure cracked. Beads of sweat glistened on his forehead. Cameras shifted away from Jasmine and landed on him. Hart wasn't finished. He explained that while JD sought time off, Jasmine only asked to turn in her paper on exam day, not late. Her eyes were bloodshot, he recalled, but she never mentioned her mother. In the public seating, a former classmate whispered through tears, "She used to write notes for me every morning. I never knew her mom was in the hospital." The truth had arrived, and Jasmine never had to defend herself. Her silence became her strength. Within hours, clips of Hart's words spread online. 3-minute video of his statement, "I taught both of them, but only one used hardship as an excuse," went viral. Students, journalists, and professors across the nation debated what true merit looks like. Media coverage divided. Some networks edited Hart's testimony to soften JD's embarrassment, but the full uncut version circulated everywhere, forcing people to confront the unfiltered truth. Former classmates of Jasmine spoke up. One admitted while her mother was dying, "She still helped me pass administrative law. I never thanked her." Enough. That post spread like wildfire. Polls soon showed a national shift. The majority of Americans agree that academic grades don't define leadership. Character and resilience do. Through it all, Jasmine stayed silent. No press tour, no interviews, no victory lap, just one quiet post online. Not everyone in the same class learns the same lesson. That single sentence was shared over 1 million times. The Atlantic published an essay titled "The Weight of Not Speaking." Time magazine called the hearing "The Moment Silence Changed the Tone of a Nation." In classrooms across the country, teachers printed her words on walls. Law schools assigned the hearing as a case study in ethics. Students began asking not just how to earn good grades, but what those grades truly meant. The defining image wasn't JD sweating under pressure, or Jasmine delivering a fiery rebuttal. It was simpler. Professor Hart placing her thesis on the table as Jasmine rested her hand on her notebook. No applause, no drama, just dignity. By the end of the week, the headlines moved on, but the memory stayed. A janitor who cleaned the chamber later told a reporter, "I didn't know who anyone was, but the room felt